carriers Zuikaku, Shokaku, and Taiho, with 3 additional light carriers. Ozawa has 450 carrier aircraft and another 530 land-based planes on Guam. He plans to use these planes to wipe out 1/3 of Mitcher's force. For 2 days, Japanese and American scout planes search the seas for each other's carriers. But still, the Americans have no idea where Ozawa's ships are, or if they're within punching distance of the Big E and her task force. Dawn, June 19th, 1944. USS Enterprise launches a strike of radar-equipped TBF Avengers, led by Bill Martin, who survived a crash landing just days before. Their mission: find Ozawa's fleet and report their location back to the task force. At the same time, the Grim Reaper's Hellcats will fly combat air patrol and intercept any Japanese planes that may strike the U.S. carriers. Among the Reapers this day is Donald Flash Gordon, a seasoned fighter pilot and veteran of many Enterprise battles.
I was pre-dawn launch for combat air patrol, so we knew the fleet was out there and headed toward us. So we expected airstrikes. We were 100 and some miles west of Guam.
For nearly 2 years, Gordon has been fighting in the skies over Enterprise at Santa Cruz, Grinnell Island, and Truk. He has 4 confirmed enemy kills to his name, but in order to become a fighter ace, he needs at least 1 more kill. Will this be the day? 5:40 a.m. Enterprise prepares for action. Her crew mans battle stations. Machine guns are locked and loaded, and 5-inch shells are ready to slam into the breeches of her long-range rifles.
Everybody's running up and down the ladders, and the sailors are going where they belong, and we going where we belong, and everybody's, it's an emergency. When they sound the general quarters, the battle station, the buzzer goes off. You know what that means. That means battle stations. It means you're under attack or you're about to.
"100 miles away. Land-based Japanese planes from Guam are already on their way, ready to terrorize the American ships. But the Hellcats of the U.S. task force stop them dead in their tracks. The air is filled with roaring .50 caliber machine gun fire as a score of hard-hitting fighter planes tear into the Japanese airstrike.
Everyone wanted to be in the action, I tell you. It's amazing.
Within minutes, 30 enemy planes are destroyed, burning wrecks chewed up and tossed into the sea. Back on Taiho, Ozawa has no idea that the airstrikes from Guam have failed. He's now determined to slam Mitcher's spearhead, the American battleship force. The Japanese carriers launch their first strikes against the American fleet. As one wave of planes roars into the skies, another prepares to follow in its wake. But at the same time, submarine USS Albacore, sister to the Flying Fish, spots carrier Taiho just as she launches her warplanes. Albacore immediately fires off a spread of 6 torpedoes against the giant ship. Moments later, one of the torpedoes makes a direct hit against Taiho's starboard side. The warhead slams into the ship and nails her aviation fuel storage tanks. Oil and gas lines are open to the sea, and dangerous fumes slowly start to fill the ship. But the Taiho steams on, her crew unaware that they are sailing on a ticking time bomb. Back on Enterprise, radar picks up Ozawa's incoming airstrike. They're only 140 miles from the American task force. Immediately, the Big E's 5-inch guns level their barrels, ready to pound the incoming Imperial warbirds. Inside the ship, the officers and men of the Combat Information Center are hard at work. Here, the flight direction officers vector the Big E's fighters into the oncoming Japanese.
Each ship within a task force had a fighter director officer sitting in the Combat Information Center. Through the use of radar, through the use of the fighter director officers, the ships had an ability to vector their combat air patrol or their defensive aircraft to engage inbound enemy aircraft intent on attacking the task force.
As Enterprise prepares for the sting of enemy bombs, her fighter planes charge headlong into the incoming storm. 10 miles out, the Grim Reapers close in on a formation of Kate torpedo planes. Flying his second mission of the day is Flash Gordon, in the lead of a section of 2 Hellcats. Now Gordon maneuvers into position behind the Kates and draws a bead on the enemy flyers.
We got behind a formation of 4 and shot those down. And I saw a single one down on the water, and I got down behind him.
Flash Gordon chases the Kate into a solid wall of American anti-aircraft fire. It looks like the enemy pilot is on a suicide run.
I wasn't going to fly into that AA because he wasn't going to survive, and I just will survive. So just about the time I'm ready to do a 180, he drops his torpedo a good 5 miles or more from any ship and turned right, and I shot him down.
Gordon immediately pulls out of the gunfire as the enemy plane tumbles to the sea. Finally, after 2 years of battle with the Enterprise, Grim Reaper Donald Flash Gordon of Fighting Squadron 10 is a fighter ace.
I never had a dogfight. I either got head on or tail on. They never saw us coming. And that's the way to fight a war.
The Japanese planes that aren't destroyed by Flash Gordon and the Grim Reapers are blown to pieces by 5-inch 38 caliber rifles and the thundering 40mm cannons of Enterprise and the American fleet.
And if you hear the big guns going off, it vibrates the whole ship. Regardless of where you are, you know we're under attack. When you hear the 5-inch guns start firing, they made a lot of noise, a big explosion. Of course, the boys on duty are handling you hear the 20s open up, you know they're close. Well, as a matter of fact, we're under attack. When the 20mm open up, he's in range. So, there's a lot of excitement. There's nothing dull about it whatsoever.
From his battle station on Enterprise, Marine Officer Richard Hart helps direct the fire of Enterprise's flak batteries. Suddenly, he watches as a Japanese bomb slams into the battleship South Dakota.
I remember seeing a bomb hit the South Dakota and being impressed with the tremendous sheet of flame that a bomb puts out when it hits.
The lives of 27 men are ended in an instant. But still, the South Dakota, veteran of Santa Cruz and Guadalcanal, never loses speed and keeps on fighting. South Dakota is the only ship hit by the enemy assault. Wave after wave of enemy planes are wiped out by the fighter planes of Enterprise and the other carriers. The killing goes on for hours. The Japanese air attack is a complete failure. Nearly 400 enemy aircraft are blown out of the sky by American Hellcats and the guns of USS Enterprise and the U.S. fleet. It's one of the greatest victories for the American Navy and a horrific defeat for the Japanese. The poorly trained enemy flyers are no match for the Big E. A young American pilot will later compare it